The night Alicia Jameson discovered she was destined to be the malicious supporting character. Alicia tied the male lead, Bill Waterman, to the bed in the secluded villa and explored every inch of him, savoring what Alicia believed was her only chance to defy fate. The next morning, the system's shrill alarm jolted Alicia awake. The system informed her that she had slept with the male lead. What about the female lead? Calmly, Alicia pulled her hand away from Bill's broad chest. Bill lay there in deep slumber, his wrists marked with red imprints from their passionate struggle. Before the heroine entered the picture, Alicia Jameson and Bill Waterman were childhood sweethearts, bound by an engagement decided at birth. However, once Fiona Gutter appeared, Alicia grew jealous and paranoid, driving Bill further away, until Alicia found herself utterly alone and despised by everyone. In light of this, Alicia chose a different path, first to satiate herself, and then to leave with no regrets. 5 years later, upon returning, Alicia learned that the youngest heir of the Waterman family, Bill Waterman, had gone mad searching the world for her. Welcome to Hori channel. Subscribe to follow all our latest adventures. The story began with Alicia Jameson attending a business gala for her reunion with Bill Waterman. As Alicia arrived, the system reprimanded her, stating, "If you hadn't slept with Bill Waterman 5 years ago, throwing the storyline off course, he would have married Fiona Gutter by now. Fix this." Alicia resisted the urge to roll her eyes. She wondered if this system even cared about the rights of supporting characters. Alicia reflected on her actions, asserting that she hadn't done anything villainous. She had never competed with Fiona, nor had she ever met Fiona. The system's so-called fix was to restore the story's original trajectory. Bill Waterman and Fiona Gutter would fall deeply in love, marry, and have twins. Meanwhile, Alicia Jameson was destined to spiral into jealousy and ruin, pushing Bill further away, until Alicia was betrayed by everyone. This was the fate of the malicious supporting character, the system declared. If the timeline didn't correct itself, Alicia would face bankruptcy, homelessness, and ultimately die of cancer, filled with regret. Alicia scoffed, dismissing the warning. A second later, Alicia collapsed to the floor, coughing up blood. "All right, fine," Alicia believed it. Sighing, Alicia took her seat at the gala and glanced toward the center of attention. During her years abroad, news of Bill Waterman often reached Alicia in 5 years. Bill had transformed from an unknown figure to a rising star in the business world. Now Bill was a formidable tycoon, standing beneath the spotlight in a tailored black and white suit. Bill resembled a flawless exhibit in a luxury showcase, exuding an intimidating presence, with slender fingers holding a wine glass. Bill sipped lightly and clinked glasses with others. Alicia's gaze drifted upward, lingering on Bill Waterman's lips, red, perfectly shaped and mesmerizing as they moved while he conversed. Alicia had only kissed those lips once, 5 years ago. Perhaps the world had always seen Alicia as nothing more than a malicious supporting character. Despite 18 years of living together, their moments of true intimacy were painfully rare. Sensing Alicia's gaze, Bill Waterman's dark eyes flicked toward her for a fleeting second. Then, just as quickly, he dismissed Alicia as if she were insignificant debris. Alicia hesitated, debating whether to approach Bill and say hello. After all, how else could Alicia advance the storyline? Before Alicia could act, a girl bounded to Bill Waterman's side, cheerfully hooking her arm through his, not far away. Alicia caught snippets of the girl's voice. "Bill, don't drink too much. I worry about you." That was Fiona Gutter, the heroine of the novel. A sweet, kind-hearted girl radiating sunshine and salvation. Her eyes met Alicia's briefly through the crowd before glancing away, just like Bill had done. Then Fiona smiled at Bill, a smile so tender that it left Alicia's heart aching. Alicia clenched her fist, recalling the shared history between the Waterman and Jameson families. The families had been old friends until misfortune struck the Watermans when Bill Waterman was 7. Bill's father went to prison and his mother died in a car crash, leading the Jamesons to take him in for 15 years. Bill became Alicia's reluctant companion. They had a childhood engagement, but everyone eventually declared Bill unworthy of Alicia, even her father, who had once supported their union. He advised Alicia to keep Bill as a plaything if she must, but suggested that she should marry someone better. As time passed, Bill Waterman became less of a fiancé and more of a servant. Once proud and aloof, Bill gradually turned meek and obedient. Alicia Jameson found his submission irritating. She pushed him further, making Bill cook, clean, and even fetch donuts from one side of the city to the other. Just as Alicia would change her mind, she pondered why Bill never resisted her commands. One night, at a small gathering, Alicia poured wine over Bill's head, in front of everyone. The liquid dripped down his sharp nose, over his lips, and pooled on his chin. Bill looked pitiful, all because he had asked Alicia to drink less. After all, Alicia had only just turned 18, kneeling before her. Bill calmly wiped the wine from Alicia's shoes. "If you're angry, take it out on me," Bill murmured. "Don't dirty yourself." In response, Alicia shoved Bill onto a sofa, straddling him as she opened another bottle. "Don't, Bill," he started, only for Alicia to silence him by forcing the wine down his throat. Bill's body tensed beneath her. His face flushed, his eyes watering as his friends jeered around them. That pitiful yet defiant look. Alicia loved it, but that night marked the beginning of her rebellion against fate. Alicia discovered the truth. Alicia was a mere pawn in a story designed to torment Bill Waterman until the heroine arrived to save him. Alicia refused to play along, so Alicia sent the servants away, locked Bill in her room, and explored every taboo she could imagine. The system screamed in protest. "You've ruined the story. This is supposed to be a pure romance." Alicia left without looking back. Not my problem, Alicia thought. But now, as Alicia stood before Bill and Fiona Gutter, the weight of the system's expectations pressed down on Alicia. "What now?" Alicia asked herself. Slap him, say something cruel, and let Fiona comfort him. The system instructed gleefully. Alicia Jameson approached Bill Waterman, who was already eyeing Alicia with cold detachment. Fiona Gutter protectively stepped in front of Bill. "Mr. Waterman?" Alicia began, her voice steady. Bill froze. "What did you call me?" "Bill?" Fiona interrupted sweetly. "Who is she? An ex?" Ignoring Fiona, Bill grabbed Alicia's wrist. "Care to introduce yourself properly?" Alicia raised her hand and, following the script, slapped Bill. "Don't forget, Bill Waterman. You were nothing but a dog by my side," Fiona gasped, clutching Bill's arm. "Don't let her upset you. I'm here for you, 701. Turning away, I whispered to the system. "Is that enough?" "Yes, you can leave now," it replied. But before I could escape, Bill caught my hand and dragged me upstairs. "What's happening?" I demanded. The system hesitated before answering grimly. "Bill Waterman is a vengeful male lead. He's taking you upstairs to punish you. Brace yourself." Resigned to my fate, I followed. The second floor of the banquet hall led to a spacious room, a master bedroom. 7:33. Bill Waterman shoved me roughly into the farthest corner, the force sending me sprawling onto the bed. Surprisingly, the impact didn't hurt Alicia Jameson. Alicia steadied herself, bracing for whatever confrontation Bill Waterman had in mind. Bill loomed over Alicia, his movements deliberate as he reached into the cabinet beside the bed and pulled out a pair of handcuffs. Wait, weren't those the same ones Alicia had bought 5 years ago? Panic bubbled up in Alicia's chest. What is Bill doing? Who punishes their enemy with this? Something felt seriously off. Bill's face remained impassive, his expression cold and unreadable, like a dense mist obscuring his thoughts. Without a word, he fastened the cuffs around my wrists, the sharp click echoing in the quiet room. Anyone who truly knew Bill Waterman would recognize this side of him. Calculated, detached, impenetrable. His hand lifted to grip my chin in, tilting my face up to meet his gaze. 8:32. His voice low and steady sent a chill down my spine. 5 years ago, you disappeared. Was I so inadequate that I couldn't satisfy you? I blinked stunned before blurting out. That was my first time. I didn't have much experience. For a fleeting moment, confusion softened Bill Waterman's features. His gaze dropped, his long lashes casting delicate shadows under the crystal chandelier light. Bill Waterman wasn't angry. Bill Waterman wasn't vengeful. Bill Waterman was genuinely questioning himself. The second floor of the banquet hall opened into a spacious suite, a master bedroom. Bill Waterman shoved Alicia Jameson with such force that Alicia stumbled onto the bed. Though the impact was harsh, Alicia barely felt it. Sitting upright, Alicia braced herself, waiting for Bill Waterman to lash out. Instead, Bill leaned in, his expression unreadable, and reached into a nearby cabinet. From within, Bill pulled out handcuffs that looked eerily familiar. Alicia wondered if those were the same ones she had bought 5 years ago. Panic bubbled up in Alicia's chest. Alicia asked, "What are you doing? Who uses handcuffs to punish their enemy?" This didn't feel like punishment. It felt like a detour into madness. Bill's face remained impassive, cold as a wintry mist, with practice at ease. Bill secured Alicia's wrists, his movements deliberate. His silence was unnerving. Anyone who truly knew Bill would recognize this as the steely resolve of a man who never let his emotions show. Bill gripped Alicia's chin. Bill tilted Alicia's face up, his gaze locking onto hers. His voice was low, like a quiet storm brewing just beyond the horizon. From 5 years ago, you disappeared. Was I not good enough for you? Alicia blinked, caught off guard. That was my first time, she replied. For a moment his gaze softened. His brows furrowed slightly. The long lashes framing his deep-set eyes cast delicate shadows under the chandelier light. Bill wasn't angry. He was confused as the realization dawned. Alicia felt a wave of doubt internally. Alicia screamed at the system, questioning if this was some twisted prelude to Bill Waterman's romance with Fiona Gutter. The system paused for a moment before responding with absolute certainty. No, Bill is furious over the humiliation you put him through 5 years ago. Go. This is his way of punishing you. In most novels, the heroine would walk away and, right about now, get jealous. Then the male lead would mess everything up, leading to a dramatic pursuit. Alicia muttered, feeling resigned for the sake of her future fortune and freedom. Alicia gritted her teeth and closed her eyes. Fine. Bill didn't move. Instead, his thumb brushed against Alicia's lower lip. His gaze bore an emotion that Alicia couldn't decipher, and his voice sent shivers down her spine. Bill murmured, "You said it yourself?" Yes, Alicia had said it. What of it? Alicia was growing impatient. The absurd demands of the system had soured Alicia's mood, and her life felt like it was spinning out of her control. Alicia Jameson wanted nothing more than for this scene to conclude, allowing her to return to her life of luxury. Alicia struggled to comprehend her novel counterpart. How could losing a man lead someone to such despair? Surely, as long as Alicia adhered to the script and ensured Bill Waterman and Fiona Gutter's happily ever after, she would not face such a tragic fate. Lost in thought, Alicia failed to notice Bill move closer until his fingers tightened around her chin. His voice emerged as a low whisper. "Answer me. Did you mean it when you said I could do whatever I wanted?" Alicia wondered why Bill was so chatty. Did Alicia have the option to refuse? Before Alicia could snap back, Bill Waterman's lips descended on Alicia's. The kiss was warm and demanding, both fierce and tender, creating an intoxicating mix. That left Alicia breathless. The taste of wine lingered on Bill, sharp and heavy, no doubt from the drinks he had consumed earlier. Of course, the Bill Waterman of today was a powerful CEO, constantly navigating business deals and social events. Alicia's thoughts drifted, but Bill's teeth nipped at her tongue, jolting her back to reality. Alicia winced, glaring at Bill Waterman. What was happening? Panic surged within Alicia. In her mind, she screamed at the system. Was this how male leads punished villainesses? The system's shrill alarm pierced through Alicia's thoughts, louder than anything she had heard before. What was going on? This wasn't in the script. Alicia felt desperate as she tried to push Bill away. But his weight pinned her down, his hands exploring with reckless abandon. Her wrists, tied with his silk tie, left Alicia no room to resist. "Get off me!" Alicia protested, her voice muffled against his lips. "Bill Waterman," Alicia Jameson shouted. "Are you insane?" Bill Waterman didn't respond. He didn't even flinch when glass shattered outside, followed by faint voices. Alicia hissed, "There's someone outside." But Bill untied her wrists, only to push her deeper into the silken sheets. His voice was cold and firm as he declared, "There's no one, liar." If the system was correct, Fiona Gutter should have burst in by now. Alicia questioned the system. What do I do next? But the system remained silent, gone and leaving Alicia to fend for herself. Hours later, Alicia woke to the soft sound of Bill's steady breathing. The curtains were drawn, casting the room in a gentle darkness. Checking Alicia Jameson's phone, she saw it was already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Alicia's face burned as the memories of the previous night came rushing back.